Hey guys, thank you so much for checking out my YouTube channel. It's such a pleasure having you guys here because today I'm going to be talking about millennials in Africa. Yes, baby. So this will be the first of a brand new web series that I plan to launch called The African Millennial. And basically, it's going to be about who African millennials are, what are the issues we face, what are the challenges we face, how are we unique compared to millennials in other parts of the world. So basically, the term millennial is used to describe people who've entered adulthood around the turn of the 21st century. So ideally, these are people that have been born between 1982 to 2004. Now, this term or this phrase was coined by two authors, Neil Howe and William Strauss, back in 1997 when they co-authored this book called Generations. You guys need to check it out. I'll post you the link below. So this book basically explores the idea that people generally share the same qualities such as beliefs, values, attitudes, behaviors based on the time within which they grew up. So these authors go on to say that the generations have been broken down into four main archetypes. So that's the traditionalists, the baby boomers, Generation X, and Generation Y, who are millennials. We're the instant generation. And the thing is, with the advent of technology, everything is available to us. Everything, you name it. And more importantly, it's available instantly. But here's the catch. We are the first to take this attitude into the job market. Now, this is the one place where ain't nobody got time for that. This is the one place that is completely unacceptable. So what you find is that millennials get into the job market and literally their whole world is flipped upside down. Because that's the one place you will not get instant gratification that you're so used to from your friends or your parents. Because more often than not, millennials have been raised by parents who do this new parenting thing called supportive parenting or helicopter parenting, where they just hover around you and, make all the decisions for you. To make matters even worse, our generation has completely lost touch with the virtue of patience, something I like to call a Snapchat attitude. If you're familiar with the app Snapchat, you know that you can only take videos that are 10 seconds long. It's only posted for about 24 hours, and then the cycle goes on like that. So literally every 24 hours you expect and you're expected to post different things. So everything is just super ephemeral, it's upbeat, it's instant. And this is how we are. And this app plays very well on that character trait of millennials to live in the moment and to enjoy living in the moment. So do you now see how the dimensions of time and space have been completely shrunk and just redefined in the eyes of a millennial? And you can imagine someone like this checking into the job market, so fresh, so green, so naive, and you try to tell someone like that after 1 month you won't get a promotion, after 6 months you won't be named partner. It makes no sense to them at all. Because we're used to instant gratification, instant success. So what do you mean I have to take my time to build my career? What do you mean I'm not going to get a promotion overnight? Are you serious? Now this one, I'm talking about it from a personal experience. So trust me when I say, my fellow millennials who are just joining the job market, the workplace will humble your ass. Let me explain what I mean by being patient when you get your first job. Yeah? Okay, so this is a proven fact. The turnover rate among millennials is the highest. Turnover is how quickly we change jobs, like we're sifting through music on our playlists. And the reason for this is because millennials quit their bosses, not their jobs. You know why we do this? Because we're exposed to options. Literally, you go online on LinkedIn or whatever other job platform and you look for the same exact or similar job that you're doing and you'll find 10 other related jobs. So why should you stay and deal with an annoying boss when you can just go and, work somewhere else? But here's the thing though, if you don't train yourself to be patient and persevere through whatever challenges thrown your way in that particular role, then you will never learn how to do it in any other workplace. So yes, you might go and find another job opportunity somewhere else, but you'll still have the same issue. So what, you plan to hop around to different companies, what, for the rest of your life? So this is the thing, guys. Patience. And not to say that if you're in a work environment where you feel stifled or you're uncomfortable or you just want to move on to other things, not to say that you shouldn't, but the idea here is that wherever you are, you're in a certain place for a certain tenure, whether it's a certain contract, work contract, or even those people in university who are potentially studying something that they don't necessarily love. At least finish your tenure, which is however long you're supposed to be doing whatever it is you've signed up for, and then you leave. That way, at least when you leave, it's counted as an accomplishment. I finished my tenure, and that way, it was an accolade on my back. So in a nutshell, our millennials in Africa are unique compared to millennials in other parts of the world. Reason number one, millennials are the majority of the population in Africa. In Kenya alone, we are 60% of the entire population. Now that's 2 to 3 times the ratio in any other part of the world. My message is this: we as millennials in Africa, we're the majority. So in essence, we are literally the backbone of this continent. We're literally at the epicenter for any positive force for development, for socio-political change, and especially economic growth. But of course, millennials will give you a whole list of all the things that limit us from being the change we want to see or being the change we want to be. CG, the job market is so unfriendly. Mara, poverty rates are so high. I don't know, getting access to a good education is so hard. Aki maisha ni ngori. But surely, guys, we can't all have the same excuse. How about this? In a small way, try to do something to better your family or your circle of friends or your community. And slowly, if we all adopt this attitude, we'll see it ripple throughout Africa, and finally we'll see the change that we need to see on this continent. Reason number 2, millennials in Africa are torn between 2 very conflicting cultures or 2 very conflicting identities. This is because we've been raised by parents who've got deep African traditions and deep African roots. So in part, they try to impart the same morals and the same values onto us. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. But the problem comes in, or the conflict comes in, because we regularly consume media that's predominantly Western. Therefore, it's non-African. And even when they try to promote African culture in the West, it gets horribly misappropriated. So what happens is that we get totally desensitized to the core issues that create that huge chasm or that huge rift between African culture versus Western culture. For instance, some of these issues are LGBT rights, cohabiting with your partner before marriage, getting a child out of wedlock, things like that. See, the thing about African culture is that it's largely community-centric. We believe in the notion of it takes a village, yani ujamaa. But as millennials, we're quite westernized, is the right word. Because we believe in individual freedoms and individual choices and free will and freedom of expression. So you can imagine trying to live in both worlds. However, the beauty of being torn in between 2 very conflicting cultures and 2 very conflicting identities is that we're now witnessing a new wave of Africa. We're now seeing a new culture that draws comparisons from both sides, from both Africa and from the West. And you can see it in our arts, fashion, entertainment, and that's why we're now getting recognition on the global scale, because what the imports or the exports rather that come out of Africa, they are relatable across divides. So that's our magic, millennials in Africa. Well, folks, that's it for today's vlog. I really hope I informed someone out there, or at least inspired someone one way or another. Again, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, It's bye for now.